He's illiterate. So, I was like, you know what? Maybe I could, rebrand CTSBN with, giving people perspective of different challenges people face and great individuals, how they overcome adversity, and just kind of share and tune perspective of, how people is getting through trauma. No matter if you're a football player, I mean, what it's like for you. You started UFC, UFC, like.
The reality of head trauma is something that we're like, as a society, we're just embracing over the last 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't for that concussion movie. I think that opened up a lot of people's eyes. That Will Smith movie.
Yes.
And the story, that doctor, of him finding how many people have like significant brain trauma from football.
Yes. So for me, I try to use it because this is a serious standpoint. A lot of ex-players and players has been diagnosed and, passed away from CTE. So for me, on a serious point of, bringing record awareness and bringing, a reality standpoint of what athletes and people fighting or anyone in their daily lives facing from head trauma, of just people writing them off, and encouraging therapy, encouraging how do you get through tough situation and then making it funny. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like nowadays if you do something crazy, people like, oh yeah, that guy's crazy. So it's like, let's just show why they crazy in CTSBN and show the cause of the craziness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a real cause to the craziness. And, and we're ignoring it as a society because we love football, we love MMA, we love boxing. So we just kind of like
overlook it with the entertainment.
Keep moving.
Keep hitting.
I'm friends with a lot of dudes, so I get to see what they're like after fights. Like everybody watches the fight. The fight's amazing, and then you run into them after fights and have a conversation with them. Like, oh man, their whole head's swollen, can't move their hands, can't walk, calves are blown out, knees fucked up, ice here, this there.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge, man. Yeah. It's a real challenge. And when you started playing football, nobody even thought about it.
Yeah, because you just, you never think about the repercussions. You just think, how I make a better life.
Well, back then, nobody even really knew that was going to happen to football players. It was kind of a thing that they thought about with boxers. Rarely people talked about football players who aren't doing so good.
Yeah, so I feel like CTSBN was brought back to recognize the awareness of high-level people experiencing trauma and not being able to overcome that trauma because, life's change on you in a second. You playing football, it's going to come to an end, and then what do you do next?
Yeah. That's the hardest thing, right? For pro athletes, you go from being a kid to all of a sudden you are making millions of dollars.
Yes.
And you're young and you're wild and you're not thinking it's going to go away. And then all your friends are buying jewelry and all your friends are buying Mercedes-Benz and Bentleys and all this shit. And you're like, fuck. And I think the number was something like 85% of NFL players go bankrupt within X amount of years after retirement.
Exactly, because the lifestyle, and making so much money and being able to transition in regards of having a new career and not making that much money all at once like you used to.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes bankrupt could be used to protect assets in regards of people coming after you too. You're a big target when you're in position.
Of course. Yeah, but that is another problem with getting wealthy is that you become vulnerable to scoundrels.
Yeah, and scavengers.
And dirty hoes.
Yeah, dirty hoes, dirtbag.
Dirty, money-grabbing,
musty bitches.
Calculated hoes.
Yeah.
Ones that, it's not just like, well, the relationship didn't work out, the lawyer told you can get some money from him, maybe you should go for it. Yeah, fuck him. No, it's like from the jump, they're calculated.
Nah, these ladies these days, they gonna have a nigga baby because they homeless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta hit them and back to the streets where you belong, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever have situations where you thought like girls were trying to like get over on you?
I just feel like nowadays, girls just want the the BBD, the biggest and better deal.
Right.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like to me, I always knew like the game was gonna come to an end, and I feel like to me, I always played the game smart as a receiver, not putting myself in bad positions, getting hit. But I did have a chance to, rest in peace, Demaryius Thomas, one of the ex-receivers who came in the NFL around the time I came in. I had a chance to see him experience, you know what I'm saying, some of that CTE trauma and in the midst
How did he pass?
from CTE.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He passed from CTE?
Yeah, when they study his brain, yeah, because I don't want to speak about the problems that he really had, but,
yeah,
you know, being a close friend to him, you know, we seen some of the experience that he was going through. And playing for Temple my last year when we won the Super Bowl, I think it had a player, Vincent Jackson, rest in peace, also passed from CTE. So for me, you know, it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
And not only just from the hits you take, but like you said, aftermath of your career, or, you know, having a moment in your career where some guys can't get over it, or, you know, you done seen fighters have a fight, or it may not go the way that they wanted to go, and it could possibly affect the outcome of how they look at it. And I feel like we all have traumas in our lives from no matter if you play sports or not.
Yeah.
So just raising awareness of getting mental therapy and being able to, you know, work on yourself so you can have a better life. Some moments are big moments, and, you know, if you get cut, little things that happen in your career, just take it with a grain of salt and be able to cope with the situations you're in, you know?
Yeah. When did you, I mean, you talk pretty openly about CTE, but when did you start feeling the effects of that?
I feel like for me, I feel like I always was in tune and, you know, aware of my situation and where I'm at in life. You know, I've been pretty blessed in my regards of being a football player, to be able to come from Central Michigan as a walk-on to Central Michigan, leave 3 years, go to the Steelers being the second receiver pick in that year. And then, you know, I always had a high belief in myself and never was deteriorated about the position or where I had to start from or where I was going. So for me, I always had the intuitive trust and the belief in myself regarding any situation I've been in, because, you know, I came from Liberty City from nothing. So to me, everything's a blessing. So I never let football or any position I ever was in life deteriorate my perspective and my outlook or how I looked at. Yeah. That's why I say I recommend people who get therapy and, you know, into your career, have good people in your corner that, you know, got your back, that could still help you propel in life. And
did you get therapy when you were done?
Yeah.
Yeah?
For sure, you got to get therapy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did you specifically go to talk to them about?
Just how you feel, you know, mental clarity, you know, emotional feelings. You know, I feel like waking up and being a football player, when you did it every day and you wake up with so much energy ready to put it out.
Right.
Just learning how to channel it, you know, learning how to deal with some relationships that maybe change now that you're not in a position, and how to deal with that, or, you know, how to deal with people leveraging you, you know what I mean, for what you got now. And just a lot of different things that just provide mental clarity, and just, because life's not about just being right, just figuring out ways to just be more happy.
Yeah.